Oh yeah, blackout. Oh, hello.
I like that you're humming the little tune then, because
Yeah, I almost got like really carried away with that. Yeah, you know what's amazing though? This week we're playing Valhalla, right?
Mm.
And I know what everybody's thinking. They're thinking, God damn, they went from 1983 or 1984, whatever it is last time, and now they're playing Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
But no, we're playing Valhalla.
The original Valhalla. So this one's a weird one because I don't know whether or not this game will be as good as we remember it, but it is a game that I've often thought about. It's just always stuck in my memory, and I'll speak to people and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I remember this game Valhalla where you could do all these stupid things," and yeah, like I often wonder whether or not the original developers intended, like, thought that those stupid things that you could do in it were actually kind of like cool, or whether it wasn't intended. It just happened to be a side effect of the coding of the game.
Well, I was just like having a little bit of a read through the wiki on it, just like get a little bit of information, and I was trying to work out. To be honest, I don't think this was the first graphical adventure.
No, the
game.
Hobbit was before this.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
You know what? I think Where the Exploding Fist Man did the Hobbit.
Ah, okay.
I think I'm going to just double check that just in case I'm wrong.
If people are wondering why we didn't start with the Hobbit and went straight to Valhalla, it's purely because we did have the Hobbit. Well, I don't know whether we had the Hobbit, but we did play the Hobbit when we was younger, and we didn't particularly. Yeah, we didn't particularly have much fun on it. So, but we did play it, and
1902.
Yeah,
Yeah, so Where the Exploding Fist Man did do the Hobbit. It was done by Beam Software, so that was the company he used to work for. Has it got his name on it? Melbourne House, Beam Software. He was involved anyway. There you go.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's boot up the loader, get the loader going, and then have a little chat, because the loader takes a little while before it gets to the loading image. It's a bit
different.
This obviously. This isn't it's a later game in that year, but we're still in the year of loaders not necessarily being awesome.
Have you we were talking about Commodore the other day, but have you seen the new Spectrum?
I have, yes.
Looks pretty rad.
It does.
It's like a souped up Spectrum, isn't it? It hasn't got colour clash anymore. It's got 256 colours, hardware sprites, and all that.
Yeah, do you think it's with the intention of people developing more modern hobbyist games for it, sort of thing?
I kind of think probably, yeah, because the thing is, like, the new Commodore, right, is like a PC, isn't it?
Yeah.
Technically, you could develop like games on the new Commodore that would never run on the old Commodore, and so I kind of think. And I think they did it on purpose, same with the Spectrum, because they wanted, because there are indie people that make games for Commodore and Spectrum still, and I think probably their intention is to make it so that's not a bad loader screen.
No, but I was going to say quickly, did you see the way it loaded the whole screen in black first?
Yeah.
Overwriting the text, and then it loaded in the
So it must have done it in reverse, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I was going to say with those... Cool, yeah, so with those new computers, I reckon they must have kind of figured to themselves we need to give the community something a bit more... Because they're probably things like Commodore. I know there's a bit of a... they're still doing demos and stuff on Commodore still. And, there's a lot of... I don't know whether you've seen them, right? But there's demos out that run on the Commodore now that are full-on 3D graphics, and they're really silky smooth 3D graphics. It's wild.
Yeah, we were talking about Doom the other week, weren't we? And there's a port of Doom for the Commodore.
So yeah, Doom's not bad. It's not.
No,
but you know, I mean, like when you think about it, like, you know, think about something like Wing Commander, right? And like, you know, I mean, Doom's like nowhere near as sophisticated as Wing Commander, but like Wing Commander was an Amiga, right? Like you couldn't do 3D graphics like that on the Commodore, right? But people have now, and so, you know, all these years later, like, because you got like, I guess there's just way more learning materials, right? And people have figured out how to do crazy ass stuff on Commodore and stuff. And they probably, like back in the Commodore days, they probably didn't have a hint of like, you know, things like binary space partition trees and all that kind of thing. Nobody had invented them at that point, right?
But there's also the majority of what people did on the Commodore and the Spectrum and things like that. You'd get a few books, you'd learn some stuff from the books, you'd experiment, you'd maybe talk to some other people about how they do things, and you just exchange information. These days, you can just Google it. So
yeah, that's right. And also, like, these days, like, think about it, they're like the Commodore demo people, their starting point was the best that anybody had ever done on the Commodore, right? Whereas the starting point for developers back there was, we haven't even got a manual, we're just poking values and seeing what happens.
Yeah, I mean, take into account as well that back then, so say for example, we were talking about Imagine being one of the better kind of like companies, yeah. And so if they came up with a technique that let them have, let's say, 20 moving characters on screens, including bullets and stuff like that, and everyone else is doing 5, they have no incentive to go, hey guys, guess what? We've come up with this new technique. This is how you do it. Now you guys can make awesome games too. Yeah. You'd keep that secret, wouldn't you? Because you don't want people, you want people to be less competitive. But nowadays, there's not really, you know, the shared information of that sort of stuff is a bit more kind of, people are a bit more open about that sort of stuff.
It's interesting.
For those older machines where you're not going to make a fortune out of them anymore.
So it's interesting, like, so because like back in them days, a lot of like the stuff that was figured out about the architecture literally was programmers poking the memory and, you know, seeing what happened and stuff. Like I know it wasn't that uncommon for, like, you know, somebody would bring out a game and be like, that, you know, people would be like, oh, this is awesome. And the first thing that their competitors did was poke around in the game and find out how they did it. Rip, you know, either rip the code because they could just, like, you know, download it out of memory and, like, basically, like, you know, get access to assembly, you know, work it out and whatnot, you know. And so, like, that's kind of how it went forward, like people just looking at each other's code and, you know, so really when you think about it, it's like if you had some amazing way of doing scrolling.
Look, check out the way this just come straight into it.
How's that right? How long does it take to draw that? Makes you wonder whether it's only done in BASIC or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, we said about this the other week that we thought the line and the draw commands on that were all just basic commands and didn't exist in machine code. So I think that there probably is a likelihood that this was created in BASIC.
Unless, like, because we never did anything like that in machine code, did we? We just did sprites. Unless, like, the algorithm, we didn't have an incentive, I mean, when you think about it, right? That's like, look at the shaded mountains in the background, right? It took years for Driller to come out and have 3D shaded graphics, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder whether the first initial attempts at doing shaded, like, kind of fill graphics and stuff like that was just slow.
So this was one of the things that I was talking about, right? So here we are. The game's just loaded,
they're already having to go at each other.
Loki's attacking Thor, and I mean these guys were. Oh, the Loki's been defeated and he's gone. I'm guessing. Oh no, Thor's like, oh yeah, see you later, buddy, and he's gone. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. This is a quirky game, and
look, I'm going in, right, because I really need to, like, I just really need to do this. I need to go, let's see if we can go, hey, give me, no, hang on. hang on. Hey, Thor, throw your helmet at Loki.
Oh, Loki is there.
At Loki? Yeah. Let's see what happens. He's going. He's going. What's he doing? He's leaving. He's gone.
Is he getting some distance?
Thor's gone.
I think.
Maybe I'm not friends with Thor yet.
Try.
Oh no! It said that was that was Loki. Thor's still there. It said Loki leaves. All right, let's try.
I think put. Did you put "Hey Thor"? Because I think some words are not recognised. So try just putting Thor. Throw helmet at. Throw
helmet. Leia. Oh, you have to do it in spaz speak, right?
Yeah, I
probably shouldn't say spaz speak, but like we'll say.
So you have to put
Taz speak. Thor, throw helmet at.
And then Leia, Leer. That's the little guy with the sword.
That dude. Is that the dude?
I think so. Yeah. Oh, and you stuck. I think even though you've just typed that, you then have to wait because it's kind of turn-based. You have to wait for Eden to give this food to Thor.
Oh.
There she goes. I think she's got a crush. Look at her go.
Jesus.
She's got that catwalk walk going on.
She just throws it on the floor. There you go, Thor. Eat.
Yeah. Eat it off the ground like a pig.
And he did. And he did. Here he goes.
There you go. It's just...
Leia attacks Thor with the sword. I mean, endless hours of fun. Here's the thing, right? I mean, he gone.
Now you can go. Can you go pick up helmet now?
Pick up. Pause. Helmet. I want that helmet.
Does the pickup command exist? It's going to be get instead.
Oh, okay. Get.
Yeah.
Oh. Somebody dropped a fireball. Must be the dragon. Dude.
It looks like you're going to do it.
I'm going to do it.
Scaddy's the dragon, yeah. Oh,
I've got it on me.
He's got it in his head. So, just a couple of little commands. If you type in list and press enter.
List.
That'll tell you what items you've got.
Interesting. See, that's the... Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you pick up the fireball. Go get fireball and see whether that will go and pick up his fireball.
This is going to be weird, isn't it? Get fire. He's coming. Oh, he moved. Get fireball.
Presumably, there's just one fireball, so you'll know which one to get.
He's coming to get me. Like he obviously moves slow, but it's like he's like, no way, ran past me. And they're using the old XOR on this as well. Look.
Yeah.
You get the fireball.
So
right.
Now you got a fireball.
Hang on. Go to 4 because I don't want to get eaten.
Wait, can you go to 4?
I hope so. Oh, Loki's back.
Oh, you could throw
Leia's
your
back.
fireball at Leia and see what happens.
Oh yeah. All right. Bro. Do you know what is going on with that dragon, man? Like this reminds you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the movie Big. Or that episode on Red Dwarf where like, you know, Crichton's hand and he thinks it's a tarantula, it's in his jocks. I
see why you say it reminds you of Big, because they play a little text adventure in that, don't they?
Yeah, it is on like Red Dwarf as well. Like Crichton's hand comes back and types. Oh, hang on, throw fireball.
Hang on, if you throw the fireball at Eden, will Thor get mad at you for killing his girlfriend?
Well, I mean, we're going to have to do it now, aren't we? You've just given me what is it, Eden?
Yeah, ID.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what happens. Because I've just stole his helmet, right? I'm doing it.
There we go.
This is ridiculous.
Oh, she's coming to get you.
Run.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, look at her arms. She's like beef as...
She looks angry.
She's like
And
beef
she
as
looks
fuck.
buff.
Look
She's
at
like,
her.
yeah, she's like that.
Oh! Oh! Are we fighting or humping?
When you guys overlap, you turn
Oh,
into
killed her!
snowman.
I killed her!
Oh, God. Oh, God. She was just fireballed up, and she didn't have a weapon.
Hang on. Like, 4 hasn't done nothing, basically.
He doesn't even care, does he? Can you say... Like, how do you...
Hang on.
Presumably, I was going to say, can you go Thor drop axe?
Maybe.
Are you going to attack Thor?
Yeah, I was going to throw him out. Hang on. 4 just dropped some wine. 4 drop axe.
Because you might have a chance against him if you can take his axe.
If he drops his axe...
He just said no. I mean, you
could...
I
refuse... Alright, okay. Now I'm going to go... Throw... Oh, they're fighting. Throw... Helmet. What's his name? Leia.
Yeah, Leia. Yeah. Oh, Thor's killed him.
Oh, right. Well, I don't know what's going to happen. It's probably going to hit 4 now, right? Oh, Leia is not here.
Leia is not here.
Oh, wow. So this is... I tell you what, right? Like, here's the thing, right? Even though the graphics on this are, like, quite frankly, spectacular, right?
Yeah.
Spectrum-tacular. I think 4's... Oh, he's giving wine to, like, a dragon.
Yeah, he's like, drink this. Drink this. Let's see what a drunk dragon looks like.
It just picked it up. Yeah, even though the graphics on this are spectacular.
Yeah.
Like... Loki's
back.
Yeah, it's just... There was nothing else like this at the time. Really.
Try
I mean,
this.
Hobbit was kind of like an adventure game, but this was just... This is like a sandbox, right? It's weird.
Have a go at this. Type buy axe from Thor for 20 crowns.
Oh, buy axe from Thor for 20 crowns. Man, he's going to regret it if, like, he gives me it. Oh,
Scuddy's give you food.
He must love me.
He's a lovely dragon, isn't he?
Or is he saying I am food?
Yeah, he's like, fatten up, boy, because I'm going to eat you.
Hang on. Oh, I can't type. Something's going on. Wait your turn. 4 accepts! Oh, 4.
Yeah.
You are mental. I've got your helmet and your axe. Do I have to pick it up as well? Oh, gee. Oh, no, get.
Yeah, get axe.
Get axe. Oh, no, it ended up in my hand.
Yeah. Leia arrives.
Hang on. 4. Drop armor.
Has he got armor on?
I don't know, but I'm going to try, see what happens.
Let's see what happens. No armor. No. Oh, hang on. I've got a list of items. Oh, it doesn't say about armor. It does say that there's a shield. Has he got a shield? Try shield.
Oh, that must be what's on his back. 4 drop shield.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is
that how you spell shield? No, hang on.
Yeah. IELD. Oh, he's going to attack Loki, and I think he might be boned here because he's going to attack Loki with no axe. And no
with his hat. He's going to slap him to death, and Loki's got an axe. This guy's a madman.
When they overlap, look, they turn into a snowman too.
Yeah.
Wait,
we couldn't say that coming, could we? Alright. Okay. Buy axe from Loki.
Oh, you've missed buy there.
Oh,
Thor's just come back.
Is that 4? Okay, so everybody just comes back to life. Well, that's good to know. Buy. Look at that. It's got insert capability. What the hell?
I'm glad it has.
Yeah, me too. Buy axe from Loki for 20 crowns. I mean, come on. 4. Come on.
Oh, Lear's attacking Scaddy. Oh, come on. This has got to
He's
be.
a blooming dragon. Go
I
on.
like the attack animation. Like, Lear does actually stick his sword in different angles.
Yeah. Well, that was good. He's legging it.
I expect him to just bite his head off.
He didn't kill him. Loki, accept. I've got 2 axes. Okay. That's good. I've got 2 axes. Good. Dual wielding.
You're just disarming everybody.
Can you imagine if I got 2 axes and one in each hand? That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. But it would be cool.
You have a weapon.
You already have a weapon.
Well, that's my weapon. Don't you touch it.
Has he just taken it back? He took the axe back. He took the money and the axe. What a trickster!
Son of a butt. He did. Hang on. Okay. Loki. Drop shield. Oh, I need to eat. Oh, I've got eat food. Eat food.
Yeah, so that is a shield on their back then.
Yeah. I'm eating my food. Yum, yum, yum.
You eat the food. Oh, Mad Dragon's really nice.
Hang on. Drink wine. That means that somebody went, it's going to take them a while on this first screen to figure out what the heck's going on. We better give them some food.
Oh, look, that did a little animation for drinking the wine.
Huh.
Excuse me, I'm going to say
You know what? Look, let's as fun as this is, I'm going to go east. Never eat shredded. Yeah, I'm going over there that way.
So just a quick FYI, I think you can just go E rather than go east.
The way east is blocked. Okay. All right. Maybe I can go W. You can.
It didn't look like east was blocked to me.
So I was just noticing down the bottom here, like since we were talking about like the Hobbit, it says info in 1985. Oh, hang on. What year is this?
3.
1983. Oh right, Hobbit. I'm on the Hobbit. I'm on the Hobbit. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm on the Hobbit page. I'm reading the wrong wiki now.
I love it.
Yeah, forget about that. What caught my eye about this on development? It said like the publishing house Legend, founded and managed by John Peel, and I'm like, what? The radio host show host?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on here? Oh yeah, we're in a different spot, aren't we? What's that? Raven? Oh, there's a raven. Right, okay.
Is the raven attacking you?
Kill raven. Well, I got an axe now, so you attack the raven. Good attack. Good attack.
He seems like a happy fella to be attacked. It's just like he's pecking your kneecaps.
He is. I've chopped him like you can't. Look, took 3 axe blows, man.
Yeah, I mean, I would have thought it would have been 1 and it's down. But,
get raven.
Can you?
Can't get the raven.
No, they did miss the trick there because then it would have been good because you could have eaten the raven. I'm assuming that's some wine there that you can get.
I'm gonna get it. Yeah, get wine.
Is this Loki? Yeah, it is Loki.
Yeah, with my flipping axe.
Yeah, that you bought off him, that he took back.
Got the wine. Is that a sword over there?
Yes.
Get sword. I mean, I'm assuming an axe is better than. Oh, who knows, right?
Yeah, we have no idea. But I was expecting to say you already have a weapon.
Yeah.
Which I think it will say when you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already have a weapon.
Drop axe. Get sword.
I mean, I do think even though you have to type in like let's say simplified English.
What's that guy's name?
Um, press Control and Q to scroll up in the text, and you should be able to find out where the names are. You Raven. Oh, Boldir.
I'm going to say Boldir.
I don't think you can do
There's
punch,
no
as a
punch.
command.
No.
You've got attack or kill.
Oh, right. Keeping it simple. It's all right. Loki's doing it for me. Can you go north? Can we go into that house?
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah.
Because that is north, isn't it?
So go.
You go to the north.
Go space north.
Yeah, look.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
There we go. Do you know, in all the time when we played this back in the day, I don't ever remember going into one of those houses.
I'm not even sure whether we left the first few screens.
No,
I think
probably
we just
not.
kept getting Thor to attack Loki and silly things like that. So try opening the chest. Just go open chest.
Open chest. Well, I mean, one of the things I liked about it is, did we have all the commands? You got the commands and the instructions, didn't you?
Yeah, it said the commands are in the manual.
I don't think it had all the commands, though, because some of them...
Ask Boldir to open that chest. See whether... So just say, Boldir, open chest.
Yeah, I mean, what's he here for otherwise? Oh, he's here to fight Loki. Boldir, open chest. Oh. Loki, open chest.
Oh, God.
I knew it. Like, what's... You know what, though? Like, one thing I'll say is, like, I mentioned the splendid graphics before, like, but I think with adventure games, like, it's like a totally different beast, isn't it? Back in those days, because it's like you're typing shit in, and so it's a completely different... The gameplay is in what you're typing in, and then you wait and see what happens kind of thing. It's totally different.
He's refused to open the chest.
What?
How rude.
Shit.
Yeah, try this just for... Mary is not amused.
Mary is not
amused.
Oh
my God, what the heck?
She slaps you, doesn't she?
I didn't know that happened.
Yeah. I don't know. Can you do an F-bomb? Hang on. Man, programmers are rad.
I love it.
I'm not going to do a C-bomb.
Do R. Just do R on its own and press enter. So when you wanted to get away from the dragon earlier, that's how you just walk a space. You just go R, enter.
Just walks the space.
Yeah.
Drink wine. And then I'll pick up the wine. Because I'm assuming that the only thing you can drink in this... I'm going to be pissed soon.
Yeah, I think so.
Get wine. Because I'm assuming that's wine, because what else could it be? Looks exactly the same. Drink wine.
Try summon Thor.
Summon Thor. Oh, you reckon he's going to come in the screen?
Yeah, sorry. What? What's the problem? Why? Who's sorry? Why are they sorry? Can we not summon Thor here? Wait, what?
I shitted again.
Did you?
Hang on. Okay, summon Mary.
Oh. I guess maybe you can't summon them when you're in a building.
Oh, I can summon her now.
I love it.
Okay, so let's go east. Can we go east? No. So, yeah, no. So we've got to go south again.
West, yeah, or does west go? I assume it's south, yeah.
I love how it draws the picture.
Yeah, it's...
Mind you, though, all the adventure games did, didn't they?
Yeah.
GAC, like when we used to use Graphic Adventure Creator, that drew all the screens as well.
Yeah.
Hobbit would have done it. All of them did. I do wonder, right? Because, like, I'm telling you now, right? I reckon this has got to be done in machine code, right? Because there's no way that Beam Software, when they did The Hobbit, wrote it in BASIC. Sure.
No, you wouldn't have thought so.
So all of these graphics and that must have been done in machine code, but it's just like it must have just been hard to do those algorithms to like do the paints and stuff, and like they just hadn't figured out a faster way of doing it at the time.
Yeah, unless they, I mean, presumably they had machine code commands that drew stuff. We just never used them.
I don't think they would have had built-in commands though. They would have had to have written subroutines to do that.
Yeah, you'd guess. You'd think so, but maybe they did.
I didn't want to go east. I wanted to go
west.
I wanted to go west.
Yeah, I'm pointing that way, but it's that way.
Oh, actually, we haven't been in this house yet. North. No, I think it's going to go back now.
I don't. Will it?
We're in Valheim, man. In the Lakes of Asgard area. Hang on, I'm just going to see if... Oh, can't type. Still waiting for the people to load in.
Yeah, it's quite a slow-paced game.
I will say this. If this is written in machine code, damn, it's quite the achievement how they managed to get it this slow.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's surprisingly incredibly kind of slow.
I'm going east again. I want to see if I can get in the castle.
I do remember it being slow back in the day. I don't remember the characters coming up this slow, but
you know when you said like this game like takes about 2 hours to complete. I've got a feeling at our rate it'd take about 2 days to complete, maybe 2 weeks.
I've got a feeling the speed of completion is more down to the fact that it's so slow at drawing in.
Oh, maybe there's only like 20 screens or something.
There is a lot of screens. I checked out.
Right.
Gosh, can I? Let's zoom this out a bit. What have we got? So 1, 2.
Here we go. Here we go. So, like on the because we were just talking about it, on the Wikipedia page, it says the system occupied 4K of the game footprint and used machine code, with the rest of the game and engine and a text parser written in Sinclair Basic. There you go.
Ah, there you go.
So I don't know which bit the system was. Presumably the system's like all the decisions all the characters and that are making and the interactions, and then like maybe it is drawn up with Basic. Maybe it is like all the text is obviously Basic because it's what else would you use Basic for on this?
Yeah.
So okay, so maybe it was done in Basic, half of it, but just add machine code core for doing all the keeping like control of all the characters. So they're probably all in real time, right?
The characters move smoothly.
Yeah, well, I'm just wondering as well, like maybe every single character in the game is actually moving around right now.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah,
because they do walk in and out the rooms and follow you around and stuff. So who knows?
But it's interesting the way it completely freezes everything up, so 4 can walk and drink that wine, and you can't do anything until he has.
So there's obviously when are
you going to go into the castle?
You can't.
Ah, okay.
So I want to go west, don't I? Yeah. So I mean, because presumably this must be used in some form of really basic like decision tree type thing, like early makings or something like that.
Hmm. So there's 91 screens. Some of them actually look quite similar. Yeah, some of them look quite similar.
How many screens were there on Attic Attack? That was like 200 screens, didn't it?
Yeah.
And that was like 1984, wasn't it?
Hmm.
Okay. It's amazing how drastically quickly, like the Spectrum games from, every year from 1982, like they got really, really more sophisticated really quickly, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah, it's like 1 year and suddenly they're doing phenomenal stuff.
Yeah. Well, phenomenal. Yeah. I'm impressed though. Look, the grass has got some texture and stuff, and man, how did they design these like levels and stuff? Like, did they just write some algorithm? Did they actually have a designer, or did they just have some algorithms and just be like, "Oh, we'll try some dots there"?
Some of it almost seems like a bit like unnecessary. So, like on this screen here, those trees behind the castle and that little house, it seems like
They looked
what?
good when they drew in, right? But then they just kind of like they looked like trees, didn't they? But like now they
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, and it's kind of like, what's the point? Because they're
Why they
just
got blue trunks as well?
yeah, and most of them got covered up by the castle and that. So it kind of seemed like, what was the point of that?
Is that a
I get,
snake?
oh, it is a snake, isn't it?
Oh, good. Get snake. I'm gonna have it.
Can you take it? Oh,
I'll give it a go.
looks like you go. No,
I
wait,
can't
what?
believe I killed Thor's girlfriend, nicked his
You
axe
can't
and
get the
his
snake. You
helmet.
can't get snake. Oh,
Oh. Alright, killed a snake then. Oh, hang on. Snake. Kill Thor. See if it can talk.
oh, that's one smart snake. You can't. Oh, hang on. What's going on here? Oh, Thor's
Oh, that's
the Loki's going on.
like, oh,
Oh, he's not
right.
here. Oh, try that summon Thor now and see if he appears.
Summon Thor. Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay. That's Idum, is it? Idum?
You can go. Who? I think is it who? WHO, and it should give you their names.
Snake. Kill Odd. I mean, with a name like that.
Oh, God.
Wow, the snake can talk. Alright, let's
Love
get
it.
this over and done with. Oh, look at him wriggle. Hang on a minute. The snake's legging it.
Wait,
What?
is it just gone?
It just
It's
ate
just
some
gone and ate
food.
some food.
You attack the snake. Come back here. You know,
This lady might get some flack from the battle.
you know, like it seems impossible, but like that snake. Do you, do you remember, like Bruce Lee on the Commodore? Like he actually, when you lied down, he looked like that snake.
Yeah, same graphics. So like, they were like, you know what? Well, you know what I was doing? The other day I was playing Valhalla,
I had a draw with a snake.
and there was this character in the game, looked just like Bruce Lee laying down.
Yeah.
We should use it in our game.
Yeah. You know how we've been stuck on what to do with like Bruce Lee lying down? Well,
Yeah.
play Valhalla. Oh my god, that's genius. I'm gonna try going north into this house. Can we do that?
I would be surprised if you could actually, but
Odin leaves. The way north is blocked. Hang on a minute. Is it the case? What was it? R?
I think if you can see,
Oh, hang on. Oh, no. Presumably left is to L to go left.
L
Yeah.
is left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just wondering whether,
Oh, what
like...
about the chest? You've got a chest there. Can you open that?
No, you can't open it. It's locked. But I'm just wondering, like, when I went north and went in that door before, I was right in front of the door.
Oh, so you think that?
I'm just wondering if I get right in front of the door, is it that,
Port-
like,
See,
crazy?
I'm just wondering if it's a port cutlass, and it's like, no, you can't go through this port cutlass.
Possibly. We're going to find out the sad way.
Why has this dude got wheels, Taz? The dude in front of you, the dude that you're threatening to cut off his man parts.
Well, it's old, like, I've literally stuck my light sword right in his wiener almost. Like, if I just one more, oof.
Hey, I've just realised he's on one of those hoverboard things anyway. It's the wheels on the side.
There's too many people in here. We're going west.
I really don't know.
George died!
Oh, that's very Do you know what's really weird? This whole time we've been playing this game, yeah, your character's eaten food, drank 3 bottles of wine and everything, yeah, and he dies of starvation, and there's you and me just casually sipping on our drinks, not dying at all.
Yeah. Oh, look, he died too.
Oh, so you're in hell.
We're in hell.
Wait, who else is in hell then? Oh, no,
it's
that's
a different guy.
Yeah, it's Nidhogg. Nidhogg.
Nidhogg.
Nidhogg.
I got. Why couldn't I pick up the wine? Look, I got a sword, a helmet, and
Glut looks quite.
Okay, well I'm going east. Screw you guys.
Yeah, get out of there.
Of course it's blocked. Can I go south then? Or is south blocked because like you're walking into the screen? Yeah, right. Can I go north? So this is the great thing about these adventure games. You have no... Oh, right, I can go north. You have no idea which way you can go until you do it. Here we go. We've got trees again.
Is that you out of hell? Because if so, then I'm a lot less afraid of dying.
Hang on a minute. What?
Yeah, that's it.
Hang on.
Oh, you're in Hellgate.
Oh. Hellgate.
I assume Midgard is somewhere between...
Open chest. I tell you what, if you can't open the chest, that's going to be annoying. You have no key. Alright, so if I go...
Well,
hang on.
Where do you get keys from?
If I go south... Does it go back? Okay. I just want to see if... Okay. Okay. Jesus, this takes a long time to like go between screens.
It does, doesn't it?
Mm.
Can you imagine though? You release a game and someone's like, "Oh yeah, how long does it take to complete?" And you're like 24 hours at least of constant play. And they're like, "Really? Oh, it's a big game then." No, just each screen takes 10 minutes to load.
I'm just wondering, like, what the other adventure games looked like at the time for this, because, like, because I do remember, like, a lot of adventure games just having, like, you know, like, just simple lines and being pretty crappy, and I'm just wondering, like, even though, you know, this does look pretty splendid, I'm just wondering whether, like, this was actually pretty king for the day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how popular this were. I just remember we played it and found it hilarious that you could tell Thor to throw his helmet at Loki and stuff like that, and then get him in trouble and he'd eventually get killed by Loki. And we just found it hilarious.
Well, The Hobbit was 1982, so Hobbit ZX Spectrum graphics. Let's have a look.
Oh, you got a bug on this screen. Oh no, Bug is the name of that tiny dude, and then you got Grunt, who's the bigger guy, and then a ring there.
What's that little? Oh, hang on. Get ring. Hey, get off! That's mine.
Oh,
kill Bug. That's my ring. Precious.
Did he take it?
He did. Yeah.
Oh,
I typed in get ring and he picked it up. You defeat Bug. Oh.
Yeah, okay, so graphically
Kill Bug.
The Hobbit was...
Yeah, I'm looking at The Hobbit. It looks better, doesn't it? The Hobbit.
Oh no. I mean...
hang on, I haven't... maybe not. Oh, it depends what you... I guess it's...
It's just basic line drawings. It looks like someone's gone to draw some line drawings on an A4 piece of paper, and that's what they've done to me.
I do think The Hobbit looks slightly better in terms of like backdrop, but this has got characters in it. Because like if I
it's the inconsistency as well. Like certain screens on The Hobbit look quite good, and then certain ones of them look awful.
Hang on.
Whereas at least this is consistently, what it is. Rankle arrives.
It is
I love
that.
Oh, Con arrives. I love it. There's just all these random characters.
Hobbit.
Bug arrives. You got 5 dudes on the screen, and none of them are picking up that.
Loading screen for the Hobbit looks pretty cool.
Can you go north and get inside that house?
Let's have a look. No, but I'm going into Swampland. Am I still in hell? I must be. No, I'm not. I've left hell. Oh, hell's just down the road then. Great. Must be just where you start.
Yeah.
Get wine, because I'm going to die of starvation soon.
Yeah, see,
you are getting weak. You need to eat or drink.
World of Spectrum done an unofficial overhaul of the original one, which, as you rightly said, is developed by Melbourne House. But the overhaul was for the 128K edition, and graphically, their one's pretty darn good. It looks really nice.
What, The Hobbit?
Yeah, but it is an overhaul edition. It's not the original game. All they did is redone all the graphics for it.
But the original one was still. Hang on. It says
the original one's not great, I don't think. But
but that was done by Melbourne House as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, the original one was done by Melbourne House. The rewrite wasn't done by Melbourne House. The remake was done by World of Spectrum.
Okay.
So I think that's more modern, but it doesn't give me a date as to when it is. But graphically, it looks really nice. They've done a really good job of it. But you can't.
I get the impression though, because like when I said to you the other day about like I was talking to Greg about Where the Exploding Fist, and I was asking about how they did their graphics, and I was saying that they used to do like graph paper and stuff, and he said that like Where the Exploding Fist was the first game that they used an artist for.
Yeah.
And so it makes you think that Hobbit, the graphics on that must have been done by programmers, not artists.
Yeah, and
maybe
I think it still does come down partially to the fact that when you're learning the technology, maybe it took you a long time to actually just get it to draw a few lines and do something that looked mediocre. And you've got to think these people have got to earn money.
It's like I said to you before, though. Like, how do you even reckon that? Like, take this for instance. How do you think they designed the graphics on this? And like, I wouldn't be surprised if all they did was like, say for that castle, work out how to draw a square, work out how to draw a buttress, and then just like programmatically move it around the screen until it looked about the right position.
I would guess that they had a piece of graph paper and they drew.
Oh, they probably like figured it out because roughly.
Obviously, all the battlements they're perfectly a spectrum square each battlement. So they're not getting the colour.
No, I think you're right. Yeah.
So everything kind of falls within a square. And interesting, those I can't remember what they're called, but the arrow slots for the windows. They're the same pattern for the smaller ones, roughly, as what they are for the large one, but the pixels have just become offset. So, whatever algorithm they use, they just adjusted it. It's a weird one in a way because I'd guess those shading is kind of like it's.
Did you see what just happened?
A random number. What?
Con asked Rankle to attack you. I think that's that little dog. I defeated him.
Nice.
Hang on.
And now you're pointing your sword over, as I'd say.
Hang on. Rankle. I think because I've defeated him, maybe I'm his master now.
Yeah.
Rankle. Kill.
Attack Con. Oh, Con.
Con, sorry. Con.
Was you going to put Frankie? Oh, you was putting Frantic.
Oh, Rankle's gone.
That is Frantic then.
So Frantic. Oh, right. So he's just turned up.
Yeah.
Frantic. Kill. Con.
Yeah, I guess when they got defeated, he was like...
Because they leg it, don't they?
Yeah.
Go on, boy.
Go on.
Go on, boy.
Go on, boy. Ah.
He looks like a weed anyway. Kill.
Yeah, he does,
Con. Dude, I've got like Thor's helmet on. There's no chance. No, he's not going to win. No chance. Although I am slowly dying of starvation, though.
Yeah, but you got some wine behind him that you can steal.
There's been a lot of stabbing going on. He killed me!
Oh, that's brutal.
And I turn into Bruce Lee. Wow. Oh.
I hadn't realised, right, but I've left mine running this whole time on the opening screen, and people are just like walking in and out, chilling out. My guy's still alive though. How have I not died from starvation?
That's quite incredible, because when I left mine earlier on and we were talking, I'd gone to hell and all sorts was going on. I think I was in this room.
Oh, I don't understand what happened there. Maybe because I didn't move. It kind of like, I don't know.
There's got to be a way. Oh, okay. Okay, so that was just south of here. There's got to be a way you can, like, bring up which way you can go. You got, like, a compass or something?
You've got help. What does help do if you type help?
God, the sound on this is like banging, isn't it?
You've got help. You can also jump, and if you put jump, it travels by the ringways. Apparently, what the hell's that?
We're still waiting for help.
Yeah,
I think it sent it down the basic to the machine code, and the machine code's figuring out the help, and it's going to come back soon.
You got what, where, and who as well. I don't know what those do. Oh,
help.
What must tell you?
Ooh. Get lightning. I'm having that.
So help didn't work?
No. I've got lightning. I've got lightning. Well, no,
yeah,
I haven't yet.
Work.
Yeah, I have. I've got lightning. Alright, I'm going to go...
Oh, help might be a command that you have to use with something else, but it doesn't say anything about that.
Oh, like help sword or whatever.
Yeah, help Thor or... I don't know. I'm going to try this jump command and see what that does.
Jump. I'm going to try as well.
Two people are fighting on mine. So
because you need the ring. That guy took the ring.
Ah.
Right.
So if you've got a ring, then you can jump. Right.
Well, presumably that, like, teleport, right?
Yeah. You know when you're watching Disney's Thor, Marvel's Thor, and he teleports using that like rainbow thing. Maybe it's that.
Right.
Do you want to know something that's really weird? You can also do go southwest. So go SW and it'll go southwest.
What?
Right?
That means there's secret places that we never would have found.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like flipping Nidhogg has arrived. He's following me.
I like his jaws go junk, 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 junk as he walks. It's so cool.
Con's here. Attack. Hang on. No. Throw lightning. He's going down, man. At Con.
Oof.
Yeah? You want to... Yeah. That's right.
Let's
you think I'm a sword man, but zap that, man.
Ah, look at it. In the back of the head.
Oh, here he comes. He killed me last time, though, didn't he? Look at him. He'd like dagger first, man. Jesus.
Yeah, he did, yeah. But you was hungry. So...
Kill Con. The fight is not drawn.
Oh, this is really weird, right? So
okay, gentle gets in front of him.
I just found a key.
No. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Let's switch to yours, because like yours isn't more interesting. Oh, hang on. The fight is drawn. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, the fight is... Let's switch to yours.
I don't even know...
So you've got a key.
Yeah, I don't even know... Oh, sorry, I meant to put go west, get west. There's no W here.
Hang on a minute. Just hang on a sec.
I got the cool helmet that you've got, but...
No, well, you know. Just type in shit for a second.
I think I'm still loading. I don't think the character's loaded yet. Again.
I killed Con while we were away.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Mary's not amused. She's smacking my peach up. So
does that mean you can open that chest? Now? Yeah. Because I mean, this game's so hard to figure out. Surely, any key opens any chest. Surely.
Yeah.
Surely. Damn straight.
And then what was in the chest? I'm gonna. I don't know what's in there, but I've just hazarded a guess that it was a ring.
I think you did.
Yeah. I got a ring.
Jump.
Hang on. Can I go? I'm just gonna see whether we've got some flags and stuff. Do you think it matters? Like, can you jump from anywhere? Do you think? There's a shield.
Grab that.
I'm just getting complete luck here.
Oh, hang on a minute. I think... Oh, right, that's food. I'm going to go... Hang on. Get food. He's trying to feed the dragon. Oh, no! The dragon's going to get it.
Oh, can you feed the dragon?
Oh, one of the dudes has...
I'm going to call the dragon...
some dragon for him.
Nagnog, like in Tanagnog.
I remember Tanagnog was a weird game, but it was cool.
And a weird name as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Tanagnog. Our drive asked me about that the other day. Like,
did he?
Yeah, because I was like saying to him about, like, I was explaining to him the Bruce Lee thing, how like, you know, like we didn't like Bruce Lee and your Sinclair loved it, and then I gave him the example of like Nightlaw getting like 9 out of 10 on your Sinclair, and he was like, Nightlaw, that was the one with the really massive characters, weren't it? I'm like, no, that was Tanagnog, man.
Okay, so this was all I was looking for before I used the jump, because I wasn't sure whether or not the jump was going to do something. Like, we're not sure where it's going to take us, so I was just seeing if I could find some food. I bet I can't get this wine because I think I've got some. Oh no, I can. There you go. What's the deal with that then? Because I think I've got wine already. And you... Oh, no.
I don't think you can carry like wine and that when you're weak. Get food now, because I think I had to drop my sword.
Well, let's have a look at what I've got on my list. If I do that.
Oh no, it says
I've got a sword, a shield, a key, a ring, some food, and 200 crowns.
Yeah, I can't carry food. I'm trying to pick it up. I'm like I'm doing get food, and it's like you can't carry food, but you can eat it. You can eat it. I'm watching.
You jump.
Wow, big jump.
Where have I gone? What's going on? This is weird.
In the bushes by the looks of things.
Okay.
What? Hang on a minute.
I don't know. I thought it was going to do something really special, but
there's another ring there. Grab the ring.
Oh yeah. Yeah, ring. Oh
my God!
These little blighters are going to try and get it. Come on, get the ring before he does. I've typed this in first, so there's no way.
Haha, screw you guys.
Okay. So,
because it was that bug guy that got the ring last time.
It was, yeah. Right, so I've just gone north, right?
No way, I've got 2 rings.
Oh, so you're getting rings.
Yeah, I just ended up in hell, and like straight away, 2 rings on the floor. And a chest. Is he going to let me pick up the second ring?
Hmm.
2 rings.
Oh.
So it's funny, look, like I just quickly switch it. Like my screen, like we're literally, this is how varied the artwork is on this game. It's crazy.
I love it.
All right.
I'm seeing if I can get double wine. I've just picked up some wine.
Oh
and if I can get some more.
I think you can carry wine. I just couldn't carry food, but you've got food, didn't you?
Yeah, I got food and wine. So if I can go north from here. North is blocked. Okay. So can I go? See, that's interesting, right? So that said north was blocked, but I could go northwest.
And now I know why it gave me 2 rings. Like north, east, south, and west are blocked. Let's try southeast. I think it's all blocked. Jump.
I've got another key.
There is no ringway here. I'm in a room where I can't go anywhere. And I can't jump out.
You can't go south?
No. North, east. I'm going to have to go through these and see if any of these go anywhere. Can't go that way. Oh, no, you can. Northeast. You need a compass or something, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I've ended up at a place that looks exactly the same as the one last time. East.
East is blocked, so I can't go anywhere north, east, or west. I'm kind of just on a path. So I've got to go back south, I guess. Okay. So I have got another key. I'm just wandering around looking for chests. Oh, I've got some food there, so let's get...
What did you get out of the chest last time? A ring?
Yes.
I wonder if you get a ring every time out of a chest. I wouldn't be surprised, but it would make it a bit...
So can I jump more than once? If I go jump now...
Does it... You jump?
Oh, you just jump.
So does that mean once you've got a ring, you can just keep jumping?
Yeah, but then what does jumping do?
I don't know. I ain't done it yet.
Oh, I've just landed next to a chest, so there you go.
Oh, look, check this out, right? Check this out. You're not going to Adam and Eve this. Check this out. Ready?
Yeah.
We are literally in the same place. But except
you've got 2 dragons.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. Oh, right. I've got no key. Okay. I'm going to jump then. I'm going to try and jump.
Here. Jump. You're not strong enough to open chest. Oh, can I summon Thor?
There's no ring.
You are getting very weak. You need to eat or drink. Okay.
That's a good idea.
Eat food. I mean, I don't know why I'm getting very weak, because I literally have been drinking wine and stuff like that.
While you're having a go here, I'm gonna like read out some info. I was gonna say, this game's got Gandalf in it, but then I realised I had the Hobbit wiki open again. Okay, so it was made in published in 1983 by British studio Legend for Spectrum, and amazing! It reached #1 in the UK sale charts.
Oh, really? So I guess it's more popular than we thought.
Yeah, crazy. Commodore 64 version released in 1984.
There's a freaking sword in this chest. What's the point of that? I've already got one.
Maybe it's a special sword. So Valhalla characters move through various Nordic locations with accompanied text at the bottom of the screen, detailing all character actions. It is set mainly in Asgard and Midgard, though when the character dies, it reappears in Hell, which is kind of like interesting, and is able to walk out. The game's text parser understands most multi-part sentences as long as they are written using the words listed in the manual. Listing the accepted words was not seen in... Listing the accepted words was not seen in most similar titles of the time. So they were one of the first games to like have it so you could like list the words. The aim is to collect 6 mythical objects: the Ofnir key, the Daphne ring, the Skornir shield, the Scalir sword, the Felstrong axe, and the Grimnor helmet. To attain all items, the player receives help from various characters from Norse mythology. If the player dies whilst holding any of the 6 items, it will be lost and moved to a new location. Brutal.
Yeah, that's just not nice.
These objects are required to access otherwise unreachable parts of the game, such as Valhalla, but carrying any of the items saps the player's strength. Bloody hell. Alright. The character has an alignment between good and evil, and that changes depending on which of the other characters are helped. The more the player helps good characters, the more other good characters will help the player in their quest. Characters include gods, goddesses, dwarfs, dragons, wolves, a snake, only one, and a raven, only one.
One snake.
One snake, one raven. The characters move and interact independent of any action by the player. If the player does nothing, the game plays itself, with the characters moving about whilst the player decides what to do. That's what we're kind of wondering with the machine code thing, right? Typing in a swear word causes a dwarf to dash onto the screen and punch the player whilst... Is that what it is? Whilst generating the message, Mary is not amused. I thought it was Mary as a dwarf. Mary can be found in Elvinos, and even if killed, she returns within a minute. Okay, and then there was okay. The game has a limit of 8 objects to be left in any one location, whether on ground or in a chest or in a cupboard. There's cupboards? Oh. If the player drops an object in an area where the limit has been reached, a character called Klepto appears to steal the item, removing it from the game. What the juice? Man, they got some pretty harsh rules in this, right? It's not as if it's not hard enough as it is, right? Okay. And so, yeah, it was publishing house Legend was founded by and managed by John Peel. Had previously published titles under Micro Label, which financed the development of Valhalla. The game was developed by Richard Edwards, Graham Asher, Charles Goodwin, James Learmont, and Andrew Owing, using a system they named Moviesoft, which Peel hoped would become the adventure equivalence of CPM, which is like stands for Control Program Monitor for microcomputers. It's a mass operating system developed in 1974 for Intel-based computers. Right, okay. And that's when it says about like it being 4K machine code. So that, yeah, right, okay. So that,
hey,
like,
look, just look at that quickly, right? So I tried to go east, it said that was blocked. So I tried to go south, it said that was blocked. So I put go southeast, and then it went that way.
yeah.
it's
Yeah. It's.
how do you have a knowledge as to what directions you can or can't go within each of the screens? Do you have to just guess?
I reckon you just got trial and error, right? It's like hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it sounds like this 4K, like, you know, when they mentioned like the system occupied a 4K of the game footprint and used machine code, the rest of the game being written in BASIC, right? So it sounds like that 4K system that they're talking about is a little operating system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting, whatever that means.
I mean, I suppose the Spectrum operating system was pretty limited in itself anyway, wasn't it? It just booted into BASIC.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, but but that operating system on that contained all of BASIC and everything, didn't it?
Yeah.
So BASIC had a few commands and stuff. You could do all sorts of things in BASIC.
At least two. I've used two today: load dig, and I
yeah.
used list dig as well before we got on together.
I love how in Spectrum BASIC, like, you were limited with like how much code you could do one line of code, but you could only do well, you could do more than one line of code, but like you could only do 256 characters on each line of code, and that was basically however many characters fit in the screen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that was the limit.
Hey, check that out, right? I went to all the hassle of opening that chest to have nothing in it. Nothing.
Ah, what?
You need a drink. Okay, I don't think I've got anything to drink, is the issue.
Okay. So look, it's even got a bit
I
of
got
lore.
3 rings.
It's even got a bit of lore, right? It says the cover of the game, as well as the loading screen, features a drawing of the Sutton Hoo helmet, an artifact from the 7th century believed to have belonged to King Radweld of East Anglia. There you go.
Oh, wait, I live in East Anglia.
Yeah, right. Oh, hang on. Now I'm curious. So, down the bottom, external links, it says, review from Sinclair User. No, that's a different magazine. I'm going to have to look it up, though. Let's see what Sinclair User said. Come on. What have we got? So, Sinclair User. I mean, I know normally we don't talk about marks until the end, but like, Sinclair User doesn't exist anymore. Okay. Now I'm not going to tell you though. Sinclair. What was it? Sinclair. What's their name?
I was trying to remember.
Your Sinclair.
Your Sinclair. It must have been. Was it?
Yeah, probably. It sounds about right, doesn't it?
We're talking about the one that gave Bruce Lee the.
Yeah. Your Sinclair. Valhalla.
Crash
review.
It was Crash and Sinclair User gave it good score, and Sinclair Programs. Sinclair Programs only gave it 75, but Sinclair User gave it 4 stars. CVG gave it 35%.
Oh, here we go. Your Sinclair. Hang on. Your Sinclair. Did they have Valhalla? Oof. Next.
Doesn't make sense. How do you ask Thor for food?
4-drop. Just say 4-drop food.
Oh yeah. Thor. Drop food.
Okay. Val.
Thanks for our
They do have it. They do have it. Is that your Sinclair?
Oh, I'll put eat fod.
Okay. Your Sinclair. Is this a review? What's? Okay.
Yeah, it was Sinclair user that gave the bad review to Boulder Dash.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Sinclair user.
Okay. Well, that like I've got like yeah, it doesn't show like yeah, they ain't got Sinclair user, but interestingly enough though, Commodore user.
Oh my God! Someone just threw 4 throws wine at Hell. Hell attacks 4 with axe.
Have a little guess, like so Commodore user. What do you reckon they gave this?
Valhalla on the Commodore. Well, I'd imagine that they're pretty similar. The
Similar, but
Commodore
like
version
slightly better graphics, basically.
on the Commodore.
Yeah, a little bit more colourful.
Yeah, I'd expect so. Um, that's a difficult one. I'm going to say 7 out of 10.
It's out of 100%.
75% then.
No, they so Commodore user rated this 100%.
Wow, that is an impressive score.
It is. It's like this is the best game we've ever played.
Yeah,
Crash gave it 82.
yeah.
Which, look, I mean, to be fair, given the kind of game it is, it's like it's not about the graphics and that, is it? It's an adventure game, and I do think like it is like I mean I can't other than like I remember Hobbit, but Hobbit was more like your traditional text adventure game with graphics, right? Like what you'd create with graphic adventure creator, right?
Yeah.
And so I can see like why people might have been reasonably excited about this at the time because like there weren't anything like this, right?
No, and the thing is, like, even as far as graphics adventure games went for the foreseeable future, this game, I just opened a cupboard. This game was the only one I remember where it was quite interactive.
Yeah, well, the other thing's a bit different, isn't it? Because this one's got like little characters and stuff, and you can see things happen, like things being thrown and stuff like that. Whereas there were other games. Well, there weren't any other games that I knew that you could go throw axe at such and such and get them to attack other players. Nothing like that. But the thing is, it's like your normal adventure game that you'd get back then generally was like pretty static, weren't it?
Yeah. 100%.
Like you could attack other people and like then it'd kind of like go to and even then I don't even know on some adventure games you could even do that, right? But
no, I mean I know on the Hobbit, 'cause I saw someone post about it the other day. When you start off, it's got Florin and Gandalf in the house. They come and visit you at the start of the Hobbit, and you can attack Florin straight away, and then he kills you.
But it's not like he's not a character that moves around, though, is it?
No, it's just some text comes up on the screen saying that's what happened.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that's where like this was exciting for people probably at the time. Is like most of the other graphic adventures, they did have a static graphic, but nothing moved, and everything was explained in text, like old school adventures, like. That may have been made in the 70s and stuff. Because I saw a recent video and they would talk. It was like some guy's video. I can't remember. I'll have to dig it out and like I'll link it in one of the videos or something sometime. But it's basically it was like the complete history of MMO RPGs, something like that. And like he goes right the way back to like 1970. Whatever it was, like first game, and it's like this like little adventure game, like, and the first adventure games were done on like servers, like at universities or whatever. They're like some geeky hacker would just like, or a group of them would get together and they'd like create an adventure game on this like multi-million-dollar like computer, and they were the first adventure games, right? And so. And it's way before graphics and stuff. A lot of them were just text. So, but like, yeah, I think, I'm just trying to think, like, because one of the ones that was a big change was Ultima in his video. Ultima. I'm just wondering whether, like,
I think Ultima was a lot newer, wasn't it? Was it? What year was Ultima?
I'm just checking. Ultima game, first game.
I'm thinking
First
that
game.
was 90s.
Yeah. 1981.
Yeah. That's very
1981. So
early.
that's like 2 years before this.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
But did that animate?
I think it did actually. I'm just having a look. Ultima 1 first game YouTube. Let me just have a quick look. I seem to remember it was like a kind of over the head game. That can't be it. Hang on.
I need to eat or drink. There's no frukadookle food. I wonder if I can.
Hang on.
If I can summon Thor, which I don't know whether I can summon Thor, but if I can summon Thor, I might be able to get him to. Oh no, it says sorry, so I can't summon Thor. But if I could summon him, then I could have got him to give me some food.
Oh no, Ultima 1 First Age of Darkness came out in 1987 on a PC. Hang on, what am I thinking? Oh, Ultima 1 First Age of Darkness 1983 for the 8-bit Atari. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Yeah, no, so this is actually pretty sophisticated because, like, Ultima 1 First Age of Darkness, just having a look, it's kind of like... Animated title page, what's the game look like? It looks to me like the game, so imagine graphic adventure creator where it's just like line-like. So it looks like it's just black background with white lines. Like really, 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 really basic. So maybe this was quite sophisticated for the time.
I think it was. I remember at the time when this came out, us being like super excited because of the fact that it did actually do stuff when you type stuff in.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, presumably that's because it was completely new. But you know, that guy's called Boogie.
Boogie. I'll see if I can find a script. Okay, so
I died of hunger. I knew I was going to die of hunger.
Okay, so I got like a screenshot. I'll pop up this screenshot and you'll see. But bearing in mind, this Ultima,
I love this screen
Ultima 1 is quite famous. We never played it, but like, you know, it's kind of a fairly pivotal point in adventure games. But like, you'll see what I mean. Hang on, let me see if I can. Yeah, let's give this a bit of.
I mean, I think Hard Drive still plays one of the Ultima games.
He plays Ultima. He plays Ultima Online.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is like 20 years old.
And I'm just thinking, like, you know, isn't that pretty awesome? I'm just thinking from the point of view of the guys that made Ultima and first come up with it. Imagine coming up with something and you're like, oh yeah, I made this game. And you do your first one and everyone's like, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, that's pretty good. But then 40 years later, your games from that original concept are still being played. That's really nice.
It is wild. Like, because not many games can say that, right? I mean...
No.
I mean, I suppose you got things like... There are, like, there's Super Mario, that kind of stuff. But the thing is, they're still being made, whereas I don't even think Ultima's being made anymore.
No.
Okay. Let me just I'm going to pop up a screen of what Ultima looks like. And this, I mean, bearing in mind, though, this is 1981. So, like, you know, like, this is kind of wild. But, like, it just gives you an idea of the evolution of the games at the time. Because it's easy to look at this Valhalla game and kind of go, well, that's not even anywhere near as good graphics as, like, Manic Miner, right?
Yeah. And... You know,
but the thing is, on a game like this, the concentration wasn't on graphics. The concentration was on the mechanics of the adventure game.
Yeah, and also it's what you're trying to portray. Because in Manic Miner, they're portraying this kind of like, you know, it's just caves, just black backgrounds with stuff drawn over the top. So it's kind of 2D. which works really well for Manic Miner. But in the world of an adventure game where you're trying to portray a real life location, it doesn't really work. That's interesting.
So that's Ultima 1 from 1981. So like, and I think like that's what adventure like. So that is probably the equivalent of. So there's that, and then there's Apple II version of. There's another like 1981 screenshot of Ultima 81, and it's like I'll show you it. It's worth having a look. I'll show you it because it's pointless trying to explain it, but like it's wild. It's different. Okay, so that's one shot of that, but then there's this one, which is on the Apple II 1981, and it looks like
yeah.
It looks like that.
Well, that's interesting because that's a bit more what I'd expect from an Ultima game.
So when I was watching that video, what I remember of Ultima was more like this, where it was like it's overhead and it kind of like it had I think it might have had scrolling, but it was done in a real jank way, like Boulder Dash. And so it was very kind of like, but like the whole game's like that. It was like, you know, whatever Boulder Dash's scrolling was, but the whole game sort of speed.
Yeah, got yeah.
But I do remember an interesting fact, like though, from that video. So the guy who made Ultimate, I think his name was Richard Garrett, and I think he had like a nickname of Lord British was his nickname. That's what like he called himself. That's what everybody knew him to be. But like, so he made. I think I'm pretty sure this is right. If it wasn't Ultima, it was one of his games, but I'm pretty sure it was Ultima 1. But he made his first game, and he was working, when he was doing it, he was working at some, I think it was like some TV shop or whatever, and his boss convinced him to get the game published. And like, so, because I think he was pretty young, and like, and he got that game published, and I think it sold like 150,000 copies.
Wow.
And so it made him quite well off. And, you know, and so I guess back in them days, it would have been dream come true for him, you know. So it was similar sort of story to like Manic Miner Dude.
Yeah. So interestingly, I mean, I've quite liked playing this. I thought it's been quite good personally.
It is. It's not quite as no, it is good actually, but it's not quite as like engaging as some of the other games we've played because they're all action games, aren't they? But
yeah, I mean, this is more kind of like chilled but kind of interesting, and has some funny moments and stuff, you know. And the thing is, like, can kind of like it's easy to kind of like just look at a game just for its raw substance compared to today and say, you know, you could do so much more today. This game, to me, the main flaws in it is the lack of telling you the directions you can go. It makes it a little bit.
Although, do you think that's But I wonder whether that's because, like, you know, like if we were playing this like back in the day, you know, when we were like 12 or 11 or whatever we were, we probably wouldn't have cared.
Oh, we wouldn't have.
We'd have tried out every direction, and we would have thought it would have been awesome, right?
I think the intention was for you to create like a hand-drawn kind of map kind of thing. I think that's what they wanted you to do. And these days, you know, you're so used to the game doing everything for you is the thing that you kind of forget that back in the olden days, you'd do that sort of thing. Like you'd quite often, it was quite the norm to get a game and have a maze in it, and the idea is that you draw out the maze and figure it out. You know, even I mean, take Zelda 1. You do little maps for yourself in Zelda 1, and that was kind of like considered normal.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Like,
especially for the lost woods in Zelda. Back in the day, it was quite normal for you to get to the Lost Woods and do your own little map because there was no online map for something like that, and the fact that you'd go left twice and it would take you back to where you started, and weird things like that. It was a normal thing for games in those days for you to do your own map. So I think that's probably why.
So here's the thing, right? Like, so the graphics in adventure games had nowhere near caught up to. Because the thing is, like, you think Manic Miner it had a pretty good musical tune. It had good gameplay mechanics. It was all smooth, good graphics, and this, that, and the other, right? But in the adventure genre, and we're not, like, you either had games like, I'm going to bring it up just so that people can see. So if I bring up, say, a screenshot from The Hobbit, just so people can kind of have a look and see what The Hobbit's like. And I'm I'm actually looking at The Hobbit now and how long it took to draw the screen, and it took longer than Valhalla to draw the screen. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, like it had a bit of a. I'm going to bring up. Like, hang on, let me just bring up. Okay, so here's
it would have been quite interesting to us in the day. It drawing the screen up the way it did, we'd been like, "Oh, that's so cool."
Well, I think like we would have waited like 5 minutes for it to load, right? So like
that's a good point.
You know what I mean? It's like no big deal, right? Okay, so here's The Hobbit, right? And like I do think the Hobbit graphics.
So that is the modern Hobbit, though.
Oh, is that the modern one?
That's the modern one.
Okay, well, let me leave that up. Let me bring up the old one. Hang on.
And that one, I do think graphically. That's really good.
Oh, you're right. That's the 128 edition. Hang on. So yeah, hang on. Hobbit. Okay, because that one's clean-ish, isn't it? It's pretty clean.
Yeah, that one's really good. They've done a really good job with the graphics. So they've basically done the graphics.
So when was Hobbit? 82.
82, yeah.
All right, let me bring up the 82 one. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
Okay. Hang on. Oh, god damn, is that it? Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay, this is a whole different ball game. Okay.
Yeah. And take into account, The Hobbit was considered really good graphics at the time.
Yeah.
I remember magazines saying how good it was.
Well, this is what we were talking about, how quickly things changed, right? So, okay, so on the 48K ZX Spectrum, The Hobbit was bleak.
Yeah.
So that's The Hobbit.
You haven't got a shot of The Hobbit in that same room that you was just in, have you? Like the one with the barrel on the door?
Let me see if I can find one because
that's an interesting comparison. That one compared to the remastered one.
So that's the remastered one. Let me see if I can find. Oh, okay.
You found out, I think.
Well, I don't know whether it's the same one.
I'll tell you if it is.
Is it got a chest in it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, you're right because the text is the same. Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's wild. Okay. So. On adventure games in 1982, the cutting edge was something along the lines of that.
That's it. Yeah, that was the cutting edge.
So let's just have a look. Let's just hang on. I'll get another image up as well. Let's do this properly. Okay, so that was the cutting edge. And what was the other one? 1985 version, wasn't it?
No, 86. No, actually, the 128 version. No, that one with the really good graphics. That's a more modern one. So that was made by World of Spectrum, and that is made in, I believe, like 2016 or something like that. So that's a really modernized. Yeah, it's a really modernized version. World of Spectrum's kind of like it's a bunch of people, and they modernize some of these games to kind of like because they're really into them, they just modernize them and make them a bit fresher. So that is a modern take on it, but still on a Spectrum.
Okay.
Obviously.
Well, I mean, like, the comparison really is this, isn't it? Let's just cover us up a little bit here. I mean, Valhalla compared to that. And so, Valhalla does have, like, fairly rubbishy graphics, but, like, it is actually an advancement, right? That's what a year in adventure games did. And I think with, like, as you can kind of get from that picture, so this image here of The Hobbit, basically you're all in text land. None of this the image at the top there moved or anything. It was just like, that was just to kind of give you an idea of like your surroundings. Not an amazing idea, but like at least give you like an idea of where you are. Like, but it was like literally just text, right? And so the advancement in Valhalla, and why everybody I suppose was excited about Valhalla at the time, was because it did all this stuff and it had animation and stuff like that. But on another interesting note, I have another image here. Hang on, let's just get this other image up. So you've heard of the game Rogue, right?
Yes.
And like, so Rogue came out in 1983 on, I believe this is the Atari, and Rogue was considered an adventure game at the time as well. And so this is what Rogue looked like.
Oh, okay.
And so that's Rogue. And so that's in the same year as Valhalla. And so, but the thing about Rogue that made that stand out compared to other stuff is that Rogue was all procedurally generated, and so the dungeons were unique every time you played it. And so, that was a unique thing for adventure games, I suppose, at the time. But, I mean, there's quite a difference in, like, the graphics. Like, most of the stuff is done with, like, the characters that come on the keyboard, pretty much. And so you kind of around 83 time, adventure games were in a sort of time where like they really weren't concentrating on graphics, and it kind of seems that like the people that were buying adventure games were more interested in the story and the text and what you could do with it, and didn't really care how crappy the graphics were. And so, because the graphics lagged behind, like, I mean, you think, like, if this is 83, what else did we play in 83? Like, Jetpack was 83, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that was pretty slick, right?
Yeah, but I do wonder, is it a case of here you're trying to create something that looks like stuff in real life, and in the other one,
yeah, and this is a world, whereas,
worlds.
You probably, like, I think the thing is, it's this, right? Like, by the time Jetpack was made, there was lots of arcade games to reference and like be able to kind of like go, oh, we want to do something that's better than that. We want to improve on that. And there were so many examples of arcade games. There might have been like 50 arcade games at that point, right? Whereas adventure games, there might have only been 10. Right.
And I do think
so it says the competition. There's no there wasn't as much competition in adventures, and so nobody was pushing each other to like do, if there'd have been a game that came out the year of Valhalla, say, and it had like isometric, way better graphics, then the following year everybody would have been trying to better that.
Yeah, and I also think if you consider like, so in Valhalla, right? Quite a playable game. I've like enjoyed looking back at this, and I remember really liking it back in the day. But for me personally, I would not want to make a game like this, because just making the text engine to pass the text and decide what the character wanted based on what he'd type, to me, that's just that's the hell out of me.
I did do that back in the day. Like I did make an adventure game, and like I kind of took it a little bit further than what they do on these adventure games. Like, so I sort of like started kind of like making it so that, like in my text parser, instead of you doing, 4 throw helmet at Loki, I made it on my parser so that you could go, hey, 4, can you throw the helmet at Loki? And basically it only recognised the keywords and it ignore all the words in between. And so you could sit there and type in English. And so I kind of found that quite fun, because I kind of thought to myself, hey man, I'm a genius. Like, you can type in anything on my adventure game, but like these guys have this weird kind of like nerd speak, right? And so I did.
And I
I
find
found
that
it
an
interesting.
thing. Why didn't they just ignore all the words it doesn't recognise and pick up the ones that
I
they
don't
do?
know. I don't know, because to me, like, I thought I was some sort of genius when I did that. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And
But
that would have
I
been
will say,
around these times when they were doing games like this.
I will say, it's probably a large quantity of the code in this is literally passing the text and deciding what.
Look, do you know what? Right, the only reason I can think why they maybe didn't do that, right, is because when I did that, I was doing it in basic.
Yeah.
And I wonder whether I'll just go back to that wiki page. I wonder whether the bit that passes the text, I wonder if it's done in basic or machine code. Because if it was done in machine code, then I could totally understand why you might not have gone to that level of.
I keep hitting the buffer issue you're saying about with the keyboard.
Oh, right, where you're trying to type.
Yeah, particularly when you're typing something like get, because it's such an easy word to type.
Yeah, because it's like basically it's like when if you can't how many characters do you reckon you could type, like 2 or something?
If you're lucky, I think. Yeah, I think 2 might
So
be.
if you try to type something fast, it will just stop.
Yeah, it seems to be 2.
So look, yes, okay. So what do they say about the machine code?
Maybe it's 1. It's just that the first one empties so quick.
Okay, so I don't get it then, because like like it says here, the rest of the game engine and text parser were written in BASIC.
Mm.
And so the bottom part is all BASIC. And so, yeah, I don't know. It seemed obvious to me, but maybe we did. Maybe we didn't do that in 1983, though. Maybe we did that. Maybe I did that a bit later. You know what I mean?
I do remember though, at the time when we got this, a lot of the adventure games we'd previously played were literally text based. There were very few that had graphical images, and the ones that did, I remember, they were quite sort of limited in what they. You can do this though. You can go wine like that, and it does understand it.
Oh,
Which
okay.
I do. I think that's kind of quite cool.
No, look, you know what? I think I'm remembering like the timeline wrong, right? Because we didn't have a Spectrum in 1983.
Probably not. No. So
because I got my first Spectrum when I was about 11. Which is, and I was 73, so like that means it
You're 73. That's pretty old. You're looking good.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I know. I got I got younger as I went on. Like so that means that like we would have got the Spectrum in 1984. So this would have already been out for a year, and by the time I learnt to program and did some sort of like parser like that, it would have been like probably 1985, 86 maybe. And so, I mean, we're kind of thinking back to like this is made in 1983, so it's like a lot of things happened like in short amount of times back then, right? And so, doing all the text and stuff like that, and the fact you could even tell to throw stuff at like was probably considered incredible at the time,
That was the thing with this. I think it was more the little comedy elements, like being able to tell Thor to throw stuff at things, put swear words, and Mary comes in and slaps you. Little things like that. Just they just like weren't done at the time, and so these guys kind of introduced some of that sort of thing. But I mean,
I can't work out on mine whether look at mine. Right, it's just been sat there, right, and there's been all this fighting and stuff going on. People have been giving each other food and stuff, and I'm pretty sure I'm still alive. Yeah, I haven't because I haven't been moving or anything. I haven't starved to death.
Yeah, you must lose food as you go from one street to the next.
It must be every time you do something.
Yeah. So I mean, I would say review of Valhalla. I mean, again, we've got to take it based on the time when it was and
the genre, I suppose.
Probably, yeah. I mean,
I've
always fought back on this.
You go first. You go first.
yeah, I thought that this was actually going to be a lot worse than it actually is, because I thought it was maybe one of those ones that I remembered with rose tinted glasses a little bit, but it's not. I think it is what it was. It is as good as it was. It's just
when you initially open it and you see the graphics, you're like, oh boy, I was right. This is bung. But
you've got to remember that most of the games around that period were just text adventures, and the ones that
but
were
also
graphics
not just
adventures
that,
didn't do anything.
But also not just that. The playability on this is the writing the text and then pressing return and waiting for it to happen.
We laughed out loud earlier at some of the interactions you were doing at the start.
It was hilarious, man. It was hilarious.
Right?
Like how long did we we literally spent like we've been going hour and 45 minutes, right? I'm pretty sure the first half an hour was just trying to like get people to do stuff.
Yeah, and I think that I've always had this strong thing that computer games should be entertainment first. The most important thing of a computer game is you should be entertained. That's what we're here for, right? If we wanted, I mean, I'm not saying that stories aren't important in computer games, but to me, I've always thought if you want a good story, watch a movie. If you want good graphics, watch a movie.
Well, you're talking about a Spectrum 48K. 48K was not enough to like tell an amazing story. It's as simple as that. Like, I mean, sure, you got The Hobbit, right? But The Hobbit was a book, and the other thing is like that
and
is.
You can. It's going to be a fraction of the book. The game.
Yeah, that's right. But the other thing is that is part of the reason why early adventure games were literally text-based, because they were a book dump. All the graphics and stuff that they did put in there, and you saw how low quality the graphics were. It was probably because, and same as Valhalla, same with like the graphics, right? The reason they were probably like that was because most of the memory was used for all the text and all of the stuff that all the characters are doing, because you don't have that depth on, say, Jetpack or whatever. And so there wasn't room in memory to store anything fancier for graphics, which is why all the graphics are drawn up using draw commands and stuff like that. They're not sprites, because to draw that castle with sprites would probably be, the entire budget of the graphics for the game.
Yeah.
And so they had to draw it. And when you look at like Hobbit was even worse. If you go on YouTube and you look up Hobbit on the Spectrum from 1982, what happens is like, you've got a similar thing. Those screens that I showed up, first of all, it took even longer to draw up. Like, so it'd draw the outline of shapes, and then it'd do a flood fill on it, and you'd see the flood fill. Like, like it took forever to do flood fills on computers. Yeah. And so it would do that for each coloured shape, and you'd just see it drawing down. And so I think there was probably like a little bit of in the Hobbit's case, I don't know whether you actually had to wait for the screen to draw down. I think you could just literally text-based it and go, north, and you just exit that and stuff. But yeah, like it's a different type of game.
4 developers, interestingly enough.
I kind of find that, like, when I first read that, I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
But this feels like a little bit of a passion project. Like the developers loved doing it, and it feels like there's heart in it, rather than it being a bit of a corporate kind of like, we're doing this because it's a tie-in to something or something like that. This feels like they just had a love for what they wanted to do.
See, one of the things as well that I find really curious on this, right, is like, you see how that dog just walked in, right? And these
in my brain, he's peeing up the chest.
Right. And these characters, they're just walking around and they're just wandering off, and they just wander off. And if one of those goes out the screen, and then you go out that screen, you'll find them in the next screen, right? Probably. But the thing that's like, now they're fighting, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Now you think about something like Attic Attack, right? Like, now Attic Attack really good graphics and stuff. But think about the movement of the enemies in particular, the AI between the enemies. All they did was bounce around the screen diagonally. When they hit a wall, they just reflected off it, bounce around, and then you'd shoot them with your bullet and they're dead. And then some characters would follow you, but essentially all they're doing is just moving towards you. And that was the extent of the AI. On this, that dog came into it wasn't even in this screen, and it like wandered around and came into this screen. Those two just had a fight, and now, you know, Fire is just standing next to that dog for some reason, right? But there's a lot more to the AI on this. There's lots of decisions going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, we're not saying that the AI is some sort of advanced
it's not
thing like you'd see in a lot of games these days.
No,
like,
it's not.
You know,
it's still simplistic, but compared to those arcade games and stuff like, compared to Bruce Lee, it's like it is as advanced as a game nowadays. You know,
it is super advanced, and
we can't keep bagging Bruce Lee though, because like you know, I mean, Jesus. I mean, some people really liked it.
They did, yeah. And look, I'm not actually. I think people misunderstand when we do criticize Bruce Lee. We're not saying Bruce Lee's an awful game. We're just saying compared to what
we were just comparing it to. We were just comparing it to other games we'd already played, right?
Yeah, and it just doesn't balance.
It just doesn't. It is like if you compare Bruce Lee to Manic Miner. If Bruce Lee, what did Sinclair use to say? They gave it an 8, did they?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was something stupid.
The thing is, if Bruce Lee's an 8, then what would Manic Miner be?
And that's part of the problem. You've got to sort of balance these games on a level of quality that surrounds them. And at the time, the reason we gave Bruce Lee a low score is purely because of the fact that when you, on balance, look at the graphics and then the sound and then the responsiveness, it's just too low compared to Manic Miner. Okay,
look, there's one thing you can say about Bruce Lee, right? Like, and that is this, right? If we're to like look at, say, we're looking at Valhalla, right? And somebody who likes Bruce Lee might be looking at Valhalla and going, it looks crap. Right?
Mm.
And I guess the only thing you could say about Bruce Lee is if you were to judge it on it being a fighting game, then what other fighting games were around at the time?
Well, if Way of the Exploding Fist was around, then it's in trouble.
Well, let's have a look. I'm pretty sure Way of the Exploding Fist was 1985.
It was.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Yeah, so So what else was around?
If Renegade was around,
I'm pretty sure that was 1985.
I mean, Renegade on the Spectrum is probably even later. Oh God, 1988. All right. So what came before that? Ya Kung Fu. What about Kung Fu Master? That was quite good on the Spectrum.
I don't think that was. I think that was late as well.
Oh God, yeah, that was 1986.
All right, let's just see. Hang on. Where's my flipping? Hey, GPT, come here, you. Let's just like rank this down here.
So okay,
right, give me all fighting games on ZX Spectrum in order of year made. All right, let's see what comes up. That's going to be the easiest way to do it. All right, searching the web. Good old GPT. Come on. Well, like straight away it says like notable titles include Way the Exploding Fist straight away.
Yeah.
Hang on. Hang on. Just give me 10 from 1982 onwards. Okay. So there was one called Punchy. Kung Fu Master came out in 1984. Hang on. Okay. What about what about Bruce Lee? You're right, Bruce Lee is an iconic. See, here's the thing, right? This is why people liked it, because Bruce Lee is an iconic ZX Spectrum game release, right? It says that's 1984, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm going to ask GPT chat. How would you rate out of 10? Out of 10. Bruce Lee.
I mean,
hang on. GPT's talking.
I'm looking forward to hearing what he says.
Okay. Okay.
Would he say 3?
Okay. So this is why the guy was surprised, like with our review, right? So Bruce Lee on spec. This is what GPT says, right? And I reckon this is written by Sinclair user, right? So it says Bruce Lee on Spectrum is widely regarded as a classic and scores highly in retro gaming communities. Here's how it might be rated based on various factors. Gameplay. 9 out of 10.
Oof.
It's a mix of platforming and combat was innovative for the time. Well designed levels. Okay, and a balance of action and exploration. Yeah, okay. I wouldn't give it a 9 though. Graphics. Graphics. 8 out of 10.
Okay.
It says, whilst simple, the visuals were clear and effective with smooth animations for Bruce Lee and enemies, and Bruce Lee definitely did not look like a twig when he laid down. Sound. Okay, sound. 7 out of 10.
No, you don't know. Seriously.
No. Okay. I'm going to ask it another question in a minute, right? Like, okay, so sound, 7 out of 10, limited by the Spectrum hardware, but the sound effects were functional. And you gave a 7 out of 10 if it's functional. Come on. All right. Replayability, 9 out of 10. Its challenging levels and addictive gameplay kept players coming back. Okay. All right, I'm going to say this then. Okay, Jeep. If Bruce was so highly if Bruce was 9 out of 10 for graphics, what would you say? What would you say? What was around? What we like? Jetpack was 83, wasn't it?
What was the Balderdash was 84. That was before Bruce Lee. Now had better graphics, but Manic Miner was a year before, and that had better graphics, and that's a whole year.
What would you say? How? All right. GP chatting on stream. Wow. Graphics. How would you rate Manic Miner? Right. Another classic. Yeah. Praised for its graphics. Get fucked. Manic Miner graphics. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, and it's just ludicrous.
All right.
The thing is, look, right, we're not saying that Bruce Lee's an awful game.
Oh no, it gave it the same graphic. So it gave it the same graphics for Bruce Lee. So gameplay, it gave Bruce Lee 9 out of 10. Graphics, it gave it 8 out of 10. What? I've got to know, man. Okay. So how much for gameplay, because it's not even a contest. Gameplay for Manic Miner. 9 out of 10.
Which is...
It's ludicrous because it's like, in terms of gameplay, I mean...
The problem is, right, you've got to compare these things based on what there is the equivalent. And the fact of the matter is that Boulder Dash makes Bruce Lee look laughable in terms of gameplay. It just does. And so does Manic Miner, and so does Jetpack. You just can't... So anyway, look, we're not going to be...
No, look, it's basically back to what you said, right? At the time, we loved Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
We played the shit out of it and we loved it. But when you compare it, if you like when we play Manic Miner or Jetpack or Boulder Dash, and you know, probably other ones as well, and then you play Bruce Lee, it's jank as fuck.
Yeah.
Basically. And not in a good way. And but that doesn't mean we think it's shit, right? That just means that, like, compared to those other games, they were just like a much better build and a much better,
and you
better design and all sorts.
You can't let nostalgia kind of get the better of you in terms of how a game is. Like, you know, did I love Bruce Lee when I was younger?
I suppose. Look, if I was marking Bruce Lee on a nostalgia high, I'd probably give it an 8 as well.
Yeah, I mean,
because that's what I would mark it as from what I liked it back then, you know.
Yeah, us playing it 2-player the other week, I enjoyed doing it. I had a good time doing it, and it was a good nostalgia trip. But it's rubbish compared to Manic Miner. It's just simple.
Okay, so anyway, now we've had that discussion. Like, I felt that needed to be had. And I disagree with you, GPT chat. Jesus. I know I called you hands and shit, but Jesus. Weird. Yeah, I don't know about that. So anyway, what about this?
Well, Valhalla's a tough one because so I'm kind of like glad we've revisited it, and I do think that for many years I've really wanted to come back and revisit this game and just see it, because I don't feel like we played it for that long back in the day, and I just kept having these good memories of it and stuff like that.
I think we literally just kept getting slapped by the girl and like throwing helmets at people and stuff, and that's my memory of it anyway.
And for what it is a really good game. It is really, you know, they've done a great job for the time and everything like that. Fact of the matter is, though, as far as the game goes, I couldn't say to somebody, oh, you know, if you're going to go back and play some old Spectrum games, definitely play Valhalla because it's awesome. I wouldn't put this above like Manic Miner or something. Like, I have a 14-year-old daughter, and if she said to me, I want to check out some Spectrum games to see what they were like,
Valhalla wouldn't be one of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother putting it on the list because I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's got enough in it to make somebody go, "Oh, that's amazing." But that said, I'm rating it of the time, and I think it's a solid, maybe a 7 or an 8. I think it's still got quite a good score in it.
Strangely enough, I was gonna give it. Originally, I was gonna give it an 8, and then when we had the Bruce Lee conversation, like I kind of like thought like, oh no, I'd drop it to a 7. And the reason being is purely because like I just don't think it's as good as other games. That said though, like with this, and I guess, you know, that comment I made about Bruce Lee being one of the early kind of fighting games, you could kind of like afford Bruce Lee like a couple of probably extra ticks for being one of the first fighting games. But like I think with this game, it's like, I think like if you were really into adventure games at the time, then I could see how like this had come out and like it'd blow people away because it's so innovative, right? But
yeah,
it's
for the
like,
genre, it'd be a solid 10. If you were an adventure game,
if you were like proper adventure game geek, going from say the Hobbit type text static adventure to this, you'd be like, oh my god, It's moving. Wow. And so from that point
and
of view, I could
of
understand it. But like, I think like, you know, for me, like, it is funny. Like I'll give it that. It's definitely funny, but it's like, you know, for me, we played. It was 1903, was it?
This is 1984, I think.
So this is the same year as Attic Attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, it is 1983.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was 1903.
It's 1984 on the Commodore. That's where my confusion.
But like, you know, 1983, like even Manic Miner, like 1983 was, you know, compared to this, was pretty slick. And same with like, I mean, Attic Attack. By the time you got to Attic Attack, which wasn't that like long after, just super slick, right, compared to this.
Yeah, and I mean,
they are different types of game though, and like
yes, exactly.
like if we weren't kind of like, because we mostly got into action games, right, beat 'em ups and all sorts of stuff, right, but mostly arcadey kind of action games, right. But yeah, I mean, it's like, I think with this, for me to kind of really recommend it, I think it's too early in the action genre to kind of like really warrant going back and having a look at, unless you're just curious, right? But it's like, for example,
if you played it back in the day and wanted a nostalgia trip, then yeah, check it out.
Yeah. Well, that's why we did it, innit? So
yeah, and my issue is the following, right? It is really good for 30 minutes. When you kind of like do the silly things, but once you've done them, then you know there isn't.
It's very limited.
Well, say for example, by nowadays standard, in order for this to be effective, you'd need to be able to say to Thor, throw your helmet at Loki, and then Loki would attack Thor, and then Thor would die, and then Thor would come back and he'd be angry at Loki, and you know he'd throw his helmet at him again or something like that. You'd need this sort of feedback loop of things escalating based on your actions in order for it to continue to have entertainment. As it currently stands, you've got 30 minutes of having a laugh at certain bits, which are very funny, and it is great that they did it so you could do it. But then after that time,
it's limited. It's really limited. Because like when we were
basic adventure,
like when we were playing, and like, you know, the basic mechanics of like, when we were reading through the wiki, right, and you've got to get these different items, and there's only like 7 of them all up, and you know, and as we were doing that, I was just thinking back to when we were playing Attic Attack and all the different items they had on that, and the different keys, and this item did a spanner, killed, you know, blah blah blah. And in some ways, the items that Attic Attack had were more. There were more of them, and there was more depth to them than what they have in this for an adventure game. In a way,
I felt the progression in Attic Attack was you started the game, you start running around randomly, and within not long, you start finding items that start having a consequence on your gameplay. In this, we've just played this for some significant amount of time. We haven't found any one of the items.
No, we don't even know what they look like.
I've found keys and rings and stuff like that in abundance on my playthrough, and they've had very little benefit to my game. I just kind of feel that, in a way, you're going round and round in circles because you're not really sure of your direction of where you can or can't go. You know, there's no way of creating a mental map. In Manic Miner, in Attic Attack, I felt like I was creating some sort of mental map as to where we were in the game. Just even though there's 200 screens, watching you play, I could be like, "Oh, you're on this floor. You're in this rough location," sort of thing.
See, it is a slightly different type of game, but like, I do feel that, like, for example, like The Great Escape, essentially is an adventure game kind of thing. But it's kind of like, I kind of like the reason why I wouldn't massively recommend this is because I just don't think adventure games had got to the point where, you know, like, because you play Manic Miner, it's quite a polished game, right? Everything about it's quite polished, sound, everything.
Yes.
And like, I just don't think adventure games at this point had got to the point where they were polished enough for me to kind of like you know, like we had fond memories of this, the silly things we did on it and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not like, you know, like compare this to say like The Great Escape, and I know The Great Escape's like a good few years later, but again, what we were talking about before, how like Adventures had a bit of time, they were a bit behind in a lot of ways, and there was a lot that they were doing that normal games weren't doing and stuff, because they were building worlds. But like when you think of something like Great Escape, that's a whole world of a prison camp, amazing graphics, and you know, it's got a lot of there's just like a lot to suss out. There's way more depth to it. There's a lot to it. And I kind of think that, you know, by the time adventure games got to the point that they were really, really good, but the thing is, there weren't that many on the Spectrum, but by the time they had, there were much better examples than this. If you were going to go back and play something on the Spectrum that was really kind of... I'm just trying to think, though, like, what would be a really good example of an adventure game on Spectrum?
Yeah, I'm not sure, because I think that they got quite it got into this flow of certain games working really well on the Spectrum.
I think
these
they
really
just
cool
got
arcadey
dropped.
ones and these really cool isometric ones, and then the Amiga seemed to bring back the whole adventure thing, I think.
Yeah,
Amiga and the Atari.
Yeah, because
I'm agreeing with everything you're saying. I mean, I'm going to give it a solid 7, I think, personally. And it is a solid 7. It is, for what it is and for the time, it's a really good game. But I just feel that if you had £10 to spend and the 3 games at the time to choose from was this, let's say, Manic Miner and Jetpack, you know, you could only buy one of them, then I'd say choose between Jetpack and Manic Miner.
So here's a good example of what I would consider like a much better adventure game than this, right? Even though, well, a couple of adventure games that I reckon better than this, right? Before we mentioned Tenagnog. Tenagnog's a good example of a weird adventure game that's probably a lot better than this, like, you know. But how about, for instance, Avalon? Do you remember Avalon?
I don't remember the name. I'm gonna Google it and look at a screenshot. I seem to remember it in my head.
It's kind of, you had this wizard kind of guy, and it was like kind of adventure game. It had a bit of a, you know, Attic Attack vibe in the sense that like it had, you know, you walk around dungeons and stuff, and you could move around and stuff, but it was more kind of like more adventure-y, basically.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, I mean, someone reminded me the other day of the game Feud, where you use a wizard and you walk around collecting potions.
That was amazing, because you had to mix different potions, didn't you? And like find all the herbs and stuff to do the potions.
And you know, there were a lot of games that sort of, and again, we said this already.
That was a $2.99 classic, wasn't it?
I thought it was a $1.99 master.
Yeah, like a Mastertronic game.
Like a Mastertronic or something. And the other one that was amazing was Colony. That I thought was fantastic, where you had all the bugs attacking the base and you just played the robot and had to try and stop the bugs. And you could create little gun turrets to stop them and silly little things like that. You know, there were some amazing concepts back in the day. I just feel a lot of the adventure games didn't break out of that fantastic concept part, but Valhalla did.
I mean, to be honest, it was a pretty.
I think the 7's a good score. I think that's
I
think
think
very
so
accurate.
too. I think so too. Like, I kind of think, for me too. I'm just looking up Feud. I'm really curious to see whether that was a cheap, because I seem to remember that being a on the cheap game, and $1.99 Mastertronic. That game was incredible for $1.99.
I thought it was a $1.99 Mastertronic because at the time I remember you had a paper round, and predominantly you bought most of the games, and I was still on pocket money at the time. Didn't get much money, but I remember I bought that game, and
that's right, you did, yeah.
And we got it back.
I remember this though, like, you know,
I bought quite a lot of the $1.99er.
Yeah, that's right, because you could afford them, right?
Yeah,
because I
and then
think
you
like
bought the
Dad
better
used to
ones.
give you like pound pocket money or whatever, so you could afford to get one of those every couple of weeks, right?
Yeah,
But the thing I remember about Feud, so there were a bunch of games. So when Mastertronic games first came out, they were good, but they weren't quite as good as the £10 games.
yeah,
And Feud, I think, was one of the very first Mastertronic games that was as good as a £10 game.
yeah.
Like
It was
it was
really good.
incredible. Like it was as good as a £10 game, but it cost £1.99. And I think that was one of the first ones where it's like, because then there was a bunch of Mastertronic ones that were as good as £10 ones, right? Because I remember the what was it? Simon the Fireman was one of the first one we got, and it was a good game, but it
Oh,
just
I've
wasn't
just
as good.
noticed, right? So Colony and Feud were both done by the same company. They're both Bulldog games released by Mastertronic. And at the time, I
Oh,
remember
hang
we
on a
bought
minute.
every single
Hang
Bulldog
on a
game
minute.
because they were awesome.
Hang on a minute. Did Bulldog Software make like Syndicate?
Oh, I don't know,
Hang
If
on.
they did, that would be.
Bulldog Software Games. Hang on. I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, that would be phenomenal
Maybe
if
they
they.
didn't. Maybe I'm thinking something else. Oh no. Yeah, no. Feud, Destructo, Colony. I think we played Destructo and that was good too.
Yeah, yeah, quite possibly.
I mean, there's
Well,
a bunch of games. Oh, here we go. Here's a list of their games, right? So they did Scumball, Colony, Destructo, Feud, Invasion,
oh,
Galatron.
Invasion was really good as
Oh, that
well.
was good too. Yeah.
Yeah. See, now that was a turn-based type game that managed to do a really good job of it.
I did one called Spore and Wolfen. I remember Wolfen, Streaker,
Yeah.
Shard of Inavar. That sounds like an adventure game. Rygel's Revenge and Jackie and
Well, that
Wild.
sounds familiar. Ryger's Revenge.
But yeah, some of those games, like they were a good company anyway. They did some amazing games and they were all super cheap. So
Yeah, it was. It was the weird thing was that was a weird thing is that they'd done these super cheap games, and the games weren't massive. They'd just done them in such a way that the replayability was high. So Feud, you'd play it for ages, and
you
Invasion and Colony,
you
but they
know
were just
what?
one big screen.
You know what I think it is? I think what they did, companies like that, right? So when your Oceans and your Imagines were like doing your Great Escapes and big games like that, those guys were kind of doing games that were as good as they were doing the kind of Manic Miners and the jetpacks and that. They were really, really good games. They just didn't quite necessarily have the budget that, say, an Imagine game had, but they were really top games, basically.
Really good quality, but
yeah, really
but
good
short.
quality. Yeah.
And then they tried to think how they could get this sort of replayability factor into it,
But Feud
job of.
was amazing. Like we played Feud for hours, and it had a big map, and you'd end up having to go around finding all the different herbs and stuff, and you got into fights with other wizards and stuff. It was bloody cool.
It was cool.
Good graphics
But
too.
yeah, I do remember all three of those ones. That Invasion and Colony being really good, and Colony was a really great little sort of game. Well, on that note, we should probably call it an end to the stream, I think.
I would say so.
We've had a good explore of this one. Looking forward to what we're going to do next time, as usual.
Yeah, that was an interesting one.
I don't think it disappointed. And, as I said last week, I wanted to do something very different this time. And I don't think you can get much more different from Valhalla.
No, and like I said, like I said earlier, like to be honest, like Bruce Lee didn't disappoint either. And in fact, to be honest, I doubt any of the games we're going to play, we're going to go, well, that was utter crap. Yeah.
No, and I mean, I do think it might be worth, at some point we might get a particular bunch of games that we know are less. They're not particularly good games. We know from memory, so we might have to do a stream where we just churn through 3 games in one stream and just jump through them, kind of thing, just to do a little thing on them or something like that. But for the main, I think the thing is there's so many really good ones like Head Over Heels, The Great Escape, and School Days and stuff like that that you've got so much to pick from. And then there's so many to check out, like stupid ones. Like I saw Final Fight got released on the Spectrum, and I'm like, God, this is going to be awful, surely.
Well, I mean, here's an example of a game. Like, do you remember Football Manager? Classic,
Yes.
right? But really, I mean, I can remember back to that first Football Manager. Like, the graphics were awful. Like, it literally there was no football match going on. It was like literally a little characters that didn't even really look like footballers, and you just have a dot that either went in the goal or it didn't, kind of thing.
Yeah,
but
if I'm honest, that game to me it wasn't that great, for me, because I wasn't that into football. But
well, the other one was what was it?
So I had friends that played that constantly.
What about trucking? Right?
Yeah.
How long did we play trucking for? And it was just text-based, wasn't even that good.
Yeah, and the weird thing is like a lot of people cite Elite and say it's such an incredible game, but basically it was trucking in space.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So...
To be fair, though, I think Elite actually might have come out before trucking. Because, Elite came out pretty early. Elite 1 release date. I'm pretty sure it was 1982, right? Release date. Because it came out on 1984.
Yeah, and I've struggled to ever find any information about trucking. I know it was I remember it being quite a DOSy type, because you got trucking on the Nimbus, didn't you, at school as well?
I'm just wondering.
Pre-built in.
I'm just wondering. I'm just going to quickly have a look on see if GPT chat knows anything about it. See if it's... Yeah, trucking, 1984.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Incentive software. In this game, you play a trucker tasked with delivering goods whilst managing fuel repairs. Does this sound about right? Navigating challenging routes. It combines strategy with simulation elements, making it unique for its time. Does that sound kind of like it? I don't know. I'd have to see it.
Yeah.
1984. Trucking 1984. Images? Have we got any images? Show me. Hang on. See if show me an image. Can you do that? Can you do that? It's doing something. Go on, Hans. Draw me an image of this trucking game that we speak of. No, it's not it. In fact,
and I found a wiki page for incentive software, and I can't see trucking listed on it.
Oh boy, you got to love this. You've got to say this. This is
I'm pretty sure it was called trucking. We all called it trucking. I know other people who have played it and called it trucking.
I'm just wondering if trucking was free on the front of a magazine or something.
Yeah, it might have been a really low level one because you'd struggle to find much on Benny Bunny, I reckon. Although you would find stuff on it, but you see, Benny Bunny that had 5 or 6 games at least.
Well, Benny Bunny's an example of I wonder whether that'd be any good if we played that.
Oh, awful! I'm sure. Actually, that would make a good one for us to just play at the start of the stream sometime.
We should actually we should check. Yeah, we should actually check out Benny Bunny. Just jump through them all, but because that was actually program code, wasn't it? So
yeah,
and it was in basic as well.
Mostly, yeah. There was a couple of them that weren't.
Right,
they were nearly all basic. There was a couple of them that had some machine code mixed in.
Right. But essentially, that would be a good one to go over from a gameplay mechanics point of view, because the guy who did that, did a pretty bloody good job, really, considering it was a free code that you type in yourself kind of thing.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean,
basic mechanics, but simple gameplay mechanics. That I tell you who that would be. A game like that would be really useful to. If you had somebody who was just starting out as a programmer and they wanted to do something really simple and they were struggling like with concepts of programming, doing something like Benny Bunny would be ideal for someone like that.
Well, and that's the thing. It was incredible for us back in the day because you'd type in one of those games and it'd be like having Attic Attack but with 4 screens, and then you'd be like, well, I wanted to have more screens, so you'd add them yourself, and it weren't that hard to learn to add these things to it, add extra enemies and stuff like that, but yeah, it was good the way he gave you a real limited game that just had the bare bones playability and stuff going on. It'd be like the equivalent. You might get a Manic Miner type Benny Bunny game.
You mentioned it before, didn't you? Where he did like an Attic Attack Benny Bunny type game.
Yeah, the Attic Attack Benny Bunny was my favourite one.
Yeah, it's just come up, and I'm just like, no way.
Yeah, I remember that one, and we butchered the heck out of that and gave it hundreds of screens.
Yeah. No, we should definitely see if we can get hold of that one time and just play some Benny Bunny games and comment on those, because I think like it'd be I mean, again, like it's like the fact that they were just written in BASIC mostly, and man, I'll tell you what'd be really fascinating if we could get hold of the code.
Yes. Yeah.
That'd be fascinating.
But yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Well, I guess till next time.
Until next time.
Oh. Ta-da.
I've already got the game queued up for next time as well.
Really? Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like you're teasing now? What?
Yeah.
No, you got to tell me now. You can't. I'm not. No, I won't say.
Do we announce it on stream though? Because we don't normally say what we're going to do next time, do we?
Nobody's watching it anyway, so no, don't worry. No, this could be a first time, right?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so our next game, School Days.
You didn't have to go and say it out loud, Jesus. No, I'm excited now. Like, that'd be wicked.
Yeah, because when we were talking about it the other week and saying about how we do School Days, I've been holding off, and now I think we can make it work after playing Valhalla.
Now you know what, right? Like now you say School Days. When I was saying like before about like Great Escape, School Days is a better example. School Days is a better example of like a kind of adventure game that's better than like Valhalla.
Yeah.
Well, we can't say too much because we haven't even played it now, and now we're like going into the next stream, and it's like we're 2.5 hours in. I'm going to get to bed till like 8 in the morning.
Yeah, and I'm sick. I need to get my beauty sleep.
Yeah. John's sick, man. Jesus, what a trooper! All right, buddy.
Bless.
All right, till next time, man. Bye.
Definitely. Bye.
That was cool.
You know what? I was just thinking we need to get our like school hats on and like whatever they're called. Like, we should wear school uniforms for the next one, maybe.
Oh god, no. Oh god.
No, I'd not that back in the day.
Yeah. Ta-da.